It was a call that no family ever wants to receive, and for the Duggars, a family whose lives have been under a microscope for 2 decades, it was a moment that seemed to stop time itself. A quiet night in Arkansas shattered by the wail of sirens. But as the ambulance doors closed, the world was left with one haunting question: who was inside, and what led to this desperate race against the clock? Today, we are peeling back the curtain on the most harrowing hours the family has faced in years. We're looking at the evidence, the community whispers, and the thin line between a private tragedy and a public spectacle. But before we look at the medical reports, we have to address the one detail the family tried to keep hidden, a detail that changes everything we thought we knew about that night. To understand the weight of this emergency, we have to look at the players involved. Michelle Duggar, the matriarch who has navigated 19 births and countless scandals, and Jana, the eldest daughter often described as the glue holding the family together. For years, fans on platforms like Reddit's Duggar Snark and Facebook fan groups have speculated about the pressure placed on Jana. As a mainstay of 19 kids and counting on, Jana's life has been defined by service. But in the weeks leading up to this reported incident, the tone of her social media shifted. There was a quietness, a distance. In past episodes, we've seen Michelle handle crises with a signature, keep sweet, composure. From Josie's premature birth, a medical emergency that gripped millions, to the legal battles surrounding Josh, the Duggars are no strangers to the ER. But this time, the silence from the official family channels was deafening. It happened on a Tuesday. Local reports began to surface of emergency vehicles spotted near the perimeter of the sprawling Tontitown property. In the world of investigative commentary, we look for the gap, the space between what a PR team says and what the public sees. There were no Instagram stories. No life update vlogs. Just the stark reality of first responders on the scene. When we look at the legal background of the family's property, it's a fortress. Gaining information from within those walls is nearly impossible. However, a witness account from a nearby neighbor suggests that the accident might not have happened inside the house at all. Within hours, the internet was ablaze. On Reddit, one user claimed to have seen Michelle at a local regional hospital, looking visibly shaken. Another theory suggested a domestic mishap involving the younger children that Jana was overseeing. We must balance empathy with our investigation. When we look at the history of the Duggar compound, we see a place of high activity. With so many grandchildren now running through those halls, the margin for error is slim. Was this a fall, a sudden illness, or something more complex? History tells us that the Duggars prefer to handle things internally. When Josie Duggar suffered a seizure in a 2015 episode, the cameras captured the raw panic. This time, the lack of cameras might suggest the situation was even more dire than they were ready to admit. If it was Jana, the implications for the family hierarchy are massive. She is the primary caregiver for many. If it was Michelle, the family loses its emotional North Star. Legal experts often point out that high-profile families in the public eye face a privacy paradox. They sell their lives for reality TV, but when a true crisis hits, they find they no longer own their own narrative. The community reaction has been a mix of fervent prayer and intense scrutiny. 1. We've watched them for 20 years. We just want to know they are okay. But as the sun rose the next morning, A single vehicle was seen leaving the hospital, and the person behind the wheel wasn't who anyone expected. What does this mean for the future of the Duggar brand? Since the cancellation of their series, the family has transitioned to YouTube and social media to maintain their influence. An emergency like this serves as a reminder of their humanity and their vulnerability. We've seen Jim Bob Duggar manage these situations before with a focus on family unity. But as the older children gain independence, the cracks in that unity become more apparent. Whether this was a tragic accident or a health scare, it marks a new chapter in the Duggar saga, one where they are no longer protected by a network film crew. As of this recording, the family has released only cryptic messages of faith in hard times. We may never know the full clinical details of that night in the but the ripples of the event are felt by every follower of their journey. Life, even one lived behind gates and cameras, is fragile. For Michelle and Jana, the hospital emergency wasn't just a headline, it was a moment of reality in a world built on reality TV. Let's deep dive in full details. There are moments when a single image can spark fear across an entire community. A flashing ambulance, a stretcher, a blurred figure, and a caption that spreads faster than facts ever could. Pray for her. Tragic accident. Within minutes, speculation begins. Is it real? Is it serious? And most importantly, is it about Michelle Duggar? What follows is not just a story about a possible emergency. It is a case study in how modern fandom, media, and misinformation collide. To understand the weight of this moment, you have to understand the person at its center. Michelle Duggar rose to prominence through TLC's reality television franchise, most notably 19 Kids and Counting and later Counting On. Known for her soft-spoken demeanor and deeply religious values, Michelle became a defining figure in American reality TV culture. Her parenting philosophy, often summarized in her own words, "Children are a blessing from the Lord." This quote, repeated across episodes and interviews, became both a mission statement and a point of controversy. The Duggar family's lifestyle, rooted in conservative Christian beliefs and the teachings of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, has long drawn both admiration and criticism. So when her name trends, it never happens quietly. It starts, as these things often do, with a post. A blurry image circulates on Facebook and YouTube thumbnails. An ambulance outside what appears to be a hospital. A vague claim, a family emergency. No official source. No verified report. Yet within hours, the narrative grows. YouTube creators begin posting videos with titles suggesting tragedy. Facebook groups speculate about injuries. Reddit threads attempt to piece together timelines. But here's the critical detail. There is no confirmed accident. No statement from the Duggar family. No report from local authorities. No coverage from credible news outlets. What exists is something far more powerful and dangerous. Assumption. This moment reflects a broader pattern in digital media. Emotion spreads faster than verification. The combination of urgency and familiarity, an ambulance and a recognizable public figure, creates what media analysts call a high engagement trigger. It's designed, intentionally or not, to provoke immediate reaction. Researchers in digital communication have found that false or unverified claims spread significantly faster than confirmed information. Emotional content increases sharing likelihood by up to 70%. Visual ambiguity, like blurred images, invites speculation. In this case, all three elements are present. And the result is predictable. Across online platforms, reactions vary widely. On Reddit, particularly in Duggar-focused communities. Has anyone actually confirmed this? I can't find a real source. This feels like clickbait. People need to stop spreading panic. On Facebook, praying for Michelle and the family. No matter what, they don't deserve this. Why is no one verifying before sharing? On YouTube comments. You creators need to stop using thumbnails like this without proof. If this isn't true, it's honestly disrespectful. This divide reflects something deeper than just curiosity. It reveals a tension between concern and skepticism. This is not the first time the Duggar family has been at the center of intense public scrutiny. The fallout from the Josh Duggar scandal fundamentally changed how audiences engage with the family. Legal proceedings, including federal charges and sentencing, were extensively documented and verified through court records. In those cases, facts were clear. Sources were reliable. The narrative was grounded in evidence. But in moments like this alleged hospital emergency, the contrast is stark. There is no legal filing. No official report. Only speculation. And yet, the level of public reaction is almost the same. For content creators, especially those covering reality TV, this raises an important question. Where is the line between storytelling and misinformation? A Netflix-style docudrama thrives on tension and emotional stakes. But it also relies on credibility. Without verification, even the most compelling narrative risks becoming fiction presented as fact. Ethically, creators are expected to distinguish clearly between confirmed information and speculation. Avoid presenting rumors as reality. Provide context that allows audiences to think critically. In legal terms, spreading false claims about identifiable individuals can cross into defamation territory, particularly if it harms reputation or causes distress. At this point in time, there is no verified evidence of an accident involving Michelle Duggar. No official statement has been released by the family. No credible news outlet has confirmed any emergency. What exists is a viral moment built on uncertainty. And uncertainty, when amplified, can feel indistinguishable from truth. Moments like this don't just fade away. They shape how audiences trust media going forward. For the Duggar family, repeated cycles of rumor and scrutiny reinforce their position as one of the most polarizing families in reality television history. For viewers, it creates fatigue. What's real? What's exaggerated? What's completely fabricated? And for creators, it sets a precedent. The more unverified stories gain traction, the more they become normalized. In the end, this story isn't about a confirmed emergency. It's about perception. A single image triggered a wave of concern across thousands of people. Not because of evidence, but because of possibility. And that is the power, and the danger, of modern media. Because sometimes, the most dramatic stories are the ones we create ourselves. What are your thoughts on the family's recent silence? Do you think the pressure of the public eye contributed to this situation? Let's discuss it respectfully in the comments below. If you found this deep dive insightful, please subscribe for more investigative updates. I'm Update Gossip, and we'll see you in the next investigation.